In this video, we're going to talk about naming benzene derivatives. A lot of these molecules are just going to be kind of a long list of having to memorize things, so it's helpful if you can just take notes during this video. Let's start with a benzene ring that has an NO2 on it. What would you name this one? So this is actually going to be Nitrobenzene. If we have a benzene ring with an OH on it, what do we name that? So that's actually called phenol or phenol. Now if we have an OCH3, which is an ethyl group connected to the benzene, what do we name that? It's going to be called anisole. If we have a benzene ring that's connected to an NH2 group, which is also known as an amine group, that's going to be called aniline. And if the benzene group is attached to a carboxylic acid group, then this is going to be called a benzoic acid. You may also see this written as COOH, and it's just the same thing. Now if you see the benzene attached to an aldehyde like this, this is going to be benzaldehyde. And if you see CHO attached to it like this, it means the same thing as benzaldehyde. Now let's talk about the next one, which is kind of an alkene group. What would you call this one? So this is called styrene. Yeah. A lot of these don't make much sense. They're just names. This next one is a benzene attached to a ketone. So this is going to be an acetophenone. If you have a chlorine, that's just chlorobenzene. And if you were to have like a bromine, that would be a bromobenzene. And if you were to have a fluorine, it'd be fluorobenzene. If you were to have an iodine, it'd be iodobenzene. So those are the halogen variations of benzene. Now for the next example, it's going to look different, so I'm going to erase all of it. We're going to have a long chain and then we're going to have can't draw a hexagon correctly, man. Come on. So that was just horrendous. I'm sorry. Notice the difference between these two substituents. So one on the left is just a normal benzene group. One on the left is a benzene group with an extra carbon here. So I'm going to name these substituents for you. This is called a phenol substituent, and this is called a benzyl substituent. And a benzyl substituent has an extra carbon. The phenol doesn't. And this is not the same thing as phenol, which was a benzene ring with an alcohol OH group attached to it. So make sure you don't confuse those two. Last thing also, you may see benzene groups drawn like this, and that's just the same thing as having a benzene like that. Now, if you have a benzene and you have something looking like this, how do you name this? So this is benzene. What is it? Combined with sulfuric acid. So this is going to be benzene sulfonic, for some reason, acid.